Hey guys, and welcome back to Autumn's Journey. Previously on Autumn's Journey, we found out what exactly was in that box when we first ventured to Oliver. And now we're hopefully gonna finish the game. If not, there will be another episode. And then a bonus episode exploiting the extras. Right, leave it to me. I broke off from the group and quickly left for the location indicated on the note. It said to me just outside the city by one of the fields. I soon spotted a two-horse carriage with the Merchant Venture sign etched on its side. There were only a few people outside of the carriage chatting, so I knew I had arrived early. Discreetly, I approached the other side of the vehicle and peered through the window. Sure enough, there was a long, ornate box, similar to the one that we had escorted to Oliver. My fingers grazed the handle of the carriage door. I gave it a gentle tug, but it refused to budge. Spoiled already. As I pondered on whether to find an alternative, someone roughly grabbed my shoulder. I whipped around, my hand rising to my hilt impulsively. An older man with short peppered hair and a sword at his hip glowered at me. What are you doing here?
Sorry about that.
Sorry, I was adjusting the volume. Sorry, Kerr Elmari. This will take a little longer than I anticipated. As more knights, roughly 7 of them, and the merchant client, whom I overheard was called Dervishi, gathered around the carriage, the coachman hoisted himself onto the perch. I knew we would be setting off in a few minutes. I hope Colonel Marty don't think I'm deserting them. I anxiously looked back, but as the horses started trotting, I forced myself to follow the group. In a desperate attempt, I tossed the note on the ground, even though I was pretty sure the chances of the boys finding it were slim. Not like I had any other method of communicating with them. I lingered behind, while my eyes darted from one knight to the next. They were all in uniform, their breastplates shone brilliantly, and they each had a trusty weapon at their hip or strapped to their back. Usually I would be elated just to be in their presence, but my mind was on other things. The city of Oliver vanished from sight as we entered the northern forest. Unlike the birch forest surrounding Barry, these trees were thicker and the terrain even more rocky, although still a far cry from mountainous. I did my best to remain reserved, but Lady Bayard's name was brought up, and the knights asked me many questions about her and me. A few were interested in my sword skills since she had personally trained me. That's still really all they perceive when they see me. We did not make our first stop until mid-afternoon. As the knights ate, talked, or went out for scouting, I approached the carriage again. Although I did not have a chance to physically check the box, maybe Dervishi would let something slip about the contents. The carriage door was open. Dervishi sat inside comfortably, talking to the prominent knight with the peppered hair, who casually stood by the vehicle. Rather terrible design flaw. One swift strike to the chest, and the sternum will shatter. Which is why, even if it's aesthetically pleasing, it's not ideal in actual. Eavesdropping isn't helping either. What are the chances I would catch important information anyway? Giving up, I settled away from the carriage. About the contents. Wait! Surprised, I turned around, only to slam my knee into the wheel. Ow! As I rubbed my leg and stood up, the knight peered around the vehicle and spotted me. Did you need something?
Sorry about that.
No, I was just going to ask how much longer break would be. No more than 10 minutes. Relay that to the others. Right, I'll do that. I gave an awkward salute and hobbled away, berating myself and that lost chance. I didn't even feel like passing on the message. Instead, I just wandered off while I tried to clear my thoughts. Eavesdropping hasn't worked. The box is always under constant surveillance, and I doubted directly asking would help. It's harder than it looks. The bushes beside me rustled, and I automatically drew my sword and pointed it at the leaves. I heard a small cry of protest. Your reflexes are scary. It's just me. I blinked and lowered my sword. Elmari crawled out from under the bush and grumbled, brushing dirt off his clothes indignantly. No wonder Kerr made me try to contact you first. I heard a chuckle not far from Omari, and Kerr emerged from behind a tree. I sheathed my sword, feeling the tension leave my body. You two! How did you find me? Did you find the note?
What?
Note? Omari glanced at Kerr, who shrugged. No, we just asked how to get to Norval, and this is the main road everyone uses. It was pretty easy to catch up after that. Were you able to ascertain the box contents? I shook my head sadly. No, I've attempted multiple times, but there's been no real opportunity. You had all day, too. Hey, you tried to be discreet when surrounded by 9 people, most of them armed. If there was just some sort of distraction, maybe I could... The 3 of us fell silent as we pondered.
Bring it.
I say we just pose as bandits and confront them. I'll keep the knights busy while Aura checks. Omari groaned.
I'd rather not.
Especially since we don't know if the box actually contains dragon remains. And what do we do if it does? Take it, of course. I don't want them used for anything. Dragonkind are naturally magical, and even remains would be imbued with magic. Then, if they took the cargo, it meant the mission would be classified as a failure. My kit record would be tarnished, and it would prolong my efforts to be knighted. I gripped my badge, then opened my palm as I stared at it in deliberation. Colonel Omari seemed to have sensed my hesitation, so I looked up and grinned.
Yeah.
If it comes to that, let's do it. But orally, are you sure? Please, it'd just be a minor setback. I shoved the badge into my pocket. This is something important to you, and you need to know that I can be relied on.
Let's do this.
If the contents do contain remains, you can trust me to seize the box.
Thank you.
So, what non-violent distraction do you two have in mind? Everyone, silent. I'm out of ideas. Of course. Elmari, how versatile is your magic?
Of course.
Oh, I could create a thick fog. It'll limit their vision and you can sneak around better. I can throw in a tremor here or there to slow them down. About that?
I'd rather not.
I cringed, not wanting that to be blurred out so openly. Kerr stared at me in shock, followed by remorse. The whole time? I had no idea. Clenching a fist, he grit his teeth in frustration. It's fine, Kerr. I didn't want to bring it up. It's just something that happened in the past, and this is not time nor place to discuss it. Elmari, we'll go with the fog distraction. Kerr, I'm sure you can think of something to frighten the knights without causing jolts. Vision will be limited, and we can't hear as well as you two. Just as I said that, their ears perked up. Both of them glanced toward the direction of the carriage. They're leaving soon. You better return. Kerr and I will run ahead to set our trap.
Right.
Be careful. I immediately jogged back and took my position beside the horses. I felt bad deceiving the knights, but it was the only way to know if the coffer held dragon remains. Please just be normal cargo. I slowly moved closer to the carriage and eventually let it pass me as I pretended to guard the rear. I would need to position myself optimally. The air around me cooled, and I shivered as the temperature dropped rapidly. A mist emerged from the ground and soon enshrouded us. Many of the knights paused, and the carriage slowed down. Fog at this time? But it was just cleared a second ago. Damn, Kerr, you're really smart. A knight was swiftly rammed to the side and vanished into the mist, causing the others to panic. Is that really your first assumption? Come on. Effective. Swords were drawn and the knights formed a tightly knit group to defend themselves. I took this opportunity to dash the carriage and throw open the door. I heard another thud, followed by a scream. Dervishi was huddled on the seat and I barged in, tugging on his arm. It's not safe here. You need to get out of here now. Out of the corner of my eye, I spied the box on the floor. I yanked on Dervishi's arm again, and he reluctantly got out. As soon as he was outside, I dived inside and shut the door. Hey!
Whoops, sorry about that.
I smashed shut the box and proceeded to exit out the other side. Or I tried to until I realized the door was locked from the inside. These doors! Foiled again! Infuriated with my plans, that were being thwarted by wooden barriers, I pushed open the door, nearly smacking the client in the face as I slipped out. Sorry again! He saw that I had the box, and his eyes were widened in outrage. Uh-oh. I ducked and darted around the carriage, alarming the horses as I headed straight into the thickest part of the mist. I could hear the knights scrambling to find me as Dervishi screamed orders at them. Heart pounding, I increased the distance between us. The mist started to clear as I reached a steep slope. I momentarily looked down, then glanced back as I heard more clamors. I jumped down, my body slightly angled. I staggered awkwardly as I landed, trying not to hit a tree or trip on a root. Did I get away? And the others... Remembering that I still had the box, I knelt down and hastily unlatched it. I opened it up and inhaled sharply. Inside were beautiful, long objects that resembled shale with an emerald sheen. They were exactly like Kerr's ears. Underneath were hard flint stones with beautiful grooves and ridges. Scales?
Oh no.
This is bad. And it was possible this wasn't just a one-time delivery. If the first carriage also had dragon remains, this could be a full-fledged underground trading route. How long had this been going on? How did the knights not know? Wouldn't they check the contents? Unless... I shut the box, pushing it underneath a shrub for now before standing up. I would have to inform Kerr and Almari. Before I could take another step, the earth suddenly erupted. A large fissure ruptured at my feet, causing me to fall back. Showered in dirt, I coughed and trembled uncontrollably, unable to stand up.
What? No.
Oh, I know where this is headed. I know why they're keeping the dragon remains. I kind of figured it. I kind of figured it out. Like, that was my first inference why they were keeping them. Yep. Uh-huh. Oh, dang.
Let's do this.
I'm not handing it over! Pity. I hate searching. Lifting the mace, he slammed it onto the ground. Another chasm opened up and I screamed, my body paralyzed by every vibration. It was then I heard a loud creak behind me. I glanced up in terror. And that does it for Autumn's Journey Part 13. Well, since I'm pretty sure I'm very close to beating the game, rather clearing it, I think it's fair enough to give you guys another episode. As enough episodes that I need to finish the series today, because I really, really need to make up for those last 2 days. Like, I'm really sorry that I've been down a bit lately, and just, life gets in the way, and blah, blah, blah. You don't want to hear the rest, so see you next time, which is later today, for probably the finale of Autumn's Journey. If not, well, yeah, another episode. See you guys then.